And finally, I want to briefly talk about coming back to school. What are the school expectations? So as parents, as advocates, as tutors, as legal guardians, we have to ask the following questions. What did my child learn last year? I was talking with a colleague just this afternoon, and he was telling me that many of these children, they learn absolutely nothing to allow them to compete at the next level this year. So as parents, we need to have the conversation with our children. Do you think that you learn everything you need to now move to the next grade? Because basically, and just as an example, a lot of ninth graders who are now 10th graders will truly be ninth graders, emotionally and at the same time, academically. And so we need to reach out to the schools and ask, right? What are the expectations going to be on these children, behavior and academically? And just as much, how much support in mental health services will there be for students who, again, have anxiety and depression, or start acting out, or don't want to show up to school? How well prepared are your teachers with mental health preparation to have the patience necessary for a child that is having anxiety and all of these issues? I'm hearing from some teachers, we've seen it in some institutions, where teachers basically don't care, right? And it's important that we do this. This fall, I will be doing a training for my colleagues at Santa Rosa Junior College, mainly, and I will say this, mainly because I'm worried that many of them fail to understand the traumas, right? The losses and the pain, emotional pain that many of our people of color, many of our undocumented students, many of the poor individuals have gone through. And as a result of that, their expectations are going to be so high, and the lack of empathy, right, will provide for many students to fail their classes. And for that reason, again, we need to have this dialogue. How are you adjusting to students who are having a hard time showing up to class? How are you adjusting to students who are not academically ready for the work that you are expecting, or that normally or usually you would expect for this level in math, in English, in science, and so on? We know that the schools have certain expectations, but what are our expectations as parents in regards to academics and mental health? It is our job, literally our job, to advocate for these children. Many parents have reached out to me and said, my child, I can assure you, did not learn enough in English, in science, and in math. But they are going to be going to the next level of math, English, or science. And what I tell parents is, reach out to the school now, advocate. Will this cause trouble? Will they have to make changes to the master plan in regards to the master schedule? All of those issues need to be discussed. You don't want a child that is already having anxiety and depression to suddenly crash and burn because they're dealing with new material in math, English, science, perhaps, that is over the top. It's just too much for them. So again, I just wanted to bring that up to you. Just like the schools have the right to have expectations, and I expect nothing less, you also should have expectations as to how the school is going to support your children. And even if you don't have children in school, you have the right as a taxpayer to advocate for all children who are going to be taxpayers, who are going to pay for you to be able to retire. And with that, I want to close this conversation.